Okay, I really didn't like how my video started out because it was a lot of annoying wind in the freaking speaker. So this will serve as the intro. And just the whole beginning was me basically saying that how I was out taking a walk, doing my little cope, going out to eat again because I was actually working on a video yesterday related to the nightclub station fire that happened back in 2003. And while I was watching videos about that, I guess I went to sleep that night and kind of had some dreams about that. But then it went into, some other crap where I kind of has some freaky shit going on with sleep paralysis and just some other uncanny type shit that I can't explain. In particular, when I tend to have nightmares, it's like something will happen in the dream, but it's like I can fucking feel it or like happening to me for whatever reason. So it felt like kind of something was scratching me on the back, and that doesn't make sense. But yeah, that kind of freaked me out, and I went out to eat because when I start having shit dreams like that, or where it's like that fucking vivid to where you can actually feel what's going on, like that just kind of does me some type of way. So yeah, but that's some of what I'm gonna get into. I may get into some other stuff at the end because I do have a lot more to talk about concerning this. So without further ado, on to the video. And that's one of the things that I'm noticing. It's like as I'm getting older, it's like my brain is becoming more sensitive to whatever I see or whatnot. And if it's something like super disturbing like that, it's like I'll have a dreams about it that night. But it's like there is other times where I'll just have these crazy disturbing dreams regardless, and I won't be looking at nothing or doing nothing. So it's like, man, it'd be crazy. But I'm gonna talk about some of them. I'm gonna try to be as honest as I can, because I do believe some honesty is important, because some of it does get a bit uncomfortable to talk about. But it was this one time, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, where I was walking down the street. And it was down my usual street, like when I be filming and talking, or at least that's what I used to do before I started kind of editing some other stuff in. But I was walking down my usual street to the corner store, and it looked creepy as fuck. Like, I mean, everything was grayed out. I mean, it looked like something out of Silent Hill. And I went to the corner store, and I had, got something from the corner store. Like it was just freaky. But I don't, just talking about it's kind of, but this ain't even the most disturbing one. But I went into the corner store, and I guess I went into one of the stalls to use the bathroom. And then when I came out the stall and came out the store, it's my mom, because she used to have an old truck. Her truck pulled up, and then it wasn't no one in it. So I started running for my life, and I was screaming to the top of my lungs. And then I woke up. That was one of them. It was, and that's not really the most disturbing one, but I don't like to share that one because it's just the feeling. I mean, even though it's a fucking dream and shit, it's just the feeling of, being in a vulnerable state, or just even the idea of it. And it's like, with me being a man and all, I kind of, I don't know what you can call it, but it's like, I want to always try to be in a position of strength. So it's like, I don't like being in positions where I'm vulnerable or scared or none of that. And so that's mainly how I try to come off as, just, not no toxic masculinity type shit, but I guess you could say it. It's a little bit of ego there because no man likes to be scared. At least I don't. I don't. So, but and that's where it gets even worse, because I done had dreams in the past where I was being taken advantage of, and had a couple of those dreams, and that was real freaky because it was weird, just dreams where I was being I don't know if I can say it, but just dreams where, like I was being taken advantage of, and it would be something different each time. It would be I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't feel comfortable going into detail about that. And it's like this one reoccurring dream I've been recently having. It has to do with my younger brother. And I've had this dream 3 times already where we were doing inappropriate stuff with each other. And it's like I would wake up and I'd be like, man, what the fuck, man? And it would make me angry. It's like I would just get angry because I'm like, why the fuck do I keep having this damn dream and shit? I think those are the worst ones. The dreams where I'm being taken advantage of, or I'm doing something inappropriate to, or just on some fucking incest type shit or some gay. I'm not gay, so just that. no offense to those who like, that are into that, but it's like when you just fucking have dreams like that and you're not that type of person, like it really fucks with you, man. Like it really fucks with your mentality. And so that's why I get angry, because I'm like, man, out of all the things I could have dreams about, like, why the fuck does it have to be something like that, man? And so, and then there were times where, like, I would have some creepy ass dreams, like the car wouldn't. And like it wouldn't be any, like, sex or anything involved, but like it'd still be kind of creepy. It's another dream I had a couple of years. Well, actually, I think this was last year when I had this dream. Because, I was watching this, I was reading this manga at the time called Toilet Bound Hanako. And I guess, like, it's about this girl who makes a wish to this ghost. And I had a dream about that. And it's like in the dream, like this ghost, which, I mean, his whole name is Hanako or some shit like that. And it's actually based off of Japanese urban legend. But like in this dream, this ghost, he was in my backyard terrorizing this old man. And like this old man was just sitting up in fetal position in a trash can. And nothing gory was displayed. But it's like someone was telling me like what was going on, and like what this ghost was doing is they were telling me like, yo, he keeps eating this, he's eating this guy, and then he's throwing him back up. And then it's like when he would eat this dude, it's like the dude would still be alive, and he could smell all of his gastric fluids in his stomach and shit. And then Hanako, like, he would throw this dude back up, and somehow this guy, like, he would be whole again, and he was just sitting in fetal position in the trash can. So it's like I run outside to try to stop this shit. And he looks at, Hanako, he looks at fucking me, and I'm like, oh shit. And I run back up in the fucking house, and now he's banging up on the door, like real hard trying to get to me. And like what made it real fucking freaky is in the actual manga, it's like they kind of already have like these surreal designs and shit, like kind of like these surreal looking designs, like just in the way their eyes be looking and like all of that stuff. And just that's how it was in the dream, and so it just made it even more freaky and shit. And it was a bit more to that one, but I think I'll just stop that one right there. And it's like, that's how some of my dreams be going. Now, granted, that one was still freaky as shit, but I don't think it wasn't as bad as the, other ones I had just told, the ones with the inappropriate activity. So, I mean, I think I can deal with stuff like that one, because it's not, I mean, the description was graphic, the acts that were being insinuated was graphic, but I didn't see any of it, and
it wasn't happening to me because I guess I fucking woke up on time. So yeah, that one really did freak me out, but you know, I was able to get over it. You know, it wasn't that bad, I guess I can say. You know, but it's like that's some of the shit that be happening to me when I be sleeping, man. It's like I be having some weird ass dreams, and like just a lot of it, it'll either be super creepy or surreal, or it'll be super sexualized, and it'll be like in a way that's not pleasant. Like, you know, it won't be me just maybe having sex with some girl or some, like, you know, woman, good looking woman or some shit. It'll be like fucked up type shit, like, oh, come on, y'all. Like me being, you know, taken advantage of, or me committing acts on a family member, or them doing something to me, and it's like, just, I don't fucking know. But man, that's one of the things that's shitty about your mind. Is like, you don't even have control over your fucking mind and what it does, or what, like, when you asleep. It just, in addition to your fucking body doing whatever it wants, man, what the fuck? Okay, well, this dude better not run me over. Hold on, let me get up out here, because, you know, you got some psychos out here too. But, you know, it's like, your mind, it's just crazy like that. It'll just do some shit where it makes you actually question your fucking sanity. You know? But man, yeah, man, it's been times where I had dreams where, oh, this one was really freaky. Like, it was this other dream I had. I think I had this one like 2-3 years ago, where I was in this grayed out corridor, and my younger bro, he was in it again. But it's like, I turned in this hallway, and my bro, he threw up in the hallway, but it's like he threw up to the point to where it was like basically a pool, and it filled up the hallway, and it, like, you know, went into the whole open corridor and shit. And then the scene switched to where I was looking at this disgusting liquid. You know, it looked like some type of waste. And it was like Bruce Lee. Yeah, I know that's fucking crazy. That sounds crazy, but Bruce Lee, he was like sitting in this liquid, and he was like doing something to this guy. And what he was doing, I don't know how to fucking explain it, but it's like flies were coming out of Bruce Lee, and it was consuming this guy. And it's like, you could hear when these flies, they was like eating this guy, you could hear like the crunch of his flesh, and and then they ate him all the way down to his head. And then Bruce Lee, he took the head and he crushed it with his hands. And like, you know, man, that's some of the shit that be showing up in my subconscious, you know. So it's like, man, when I be hearing these or hearing these artists talk about like how they be having these crazy dreams, it's like, man, I think I know what the fuck they be talking about, man. Cause I done had my fair share, too many of them. And it's like, you know, all of them are horrifying for different reasons, but it's like your brain's a trip. Just how it be doing some shit like this. And it's like you don't even be asking for this type of shit or be trying to have these type of dreams. They just happy. You know. Whew. But man, I'm going out to eat to kind of cope because I had one of them dreams last night. Like again, like it wasn't. Hold up. So let me try to make it across this street right here. All right. Like, you know, like again, some of them are influenced by what I watch or like what kind of media I consume. But a lot of them are just random as shit, you know. And so, like, it's just crazy, man. But man, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. You know. And I'll be back to y'all with another one real soon. I may try to remake that Station nightclub fire video. But I'll see, you know, just hopefully I'm in a better mental state to do that when I get out this restaurant. But man, just tell me what y'all think. I'll get back to y'all with another one real soon.
Okay, so I really want to add a few more context to these dreams because it was a few stuff that I left out, you know, mainly because it goes deeper than just it being a nightmare. You know, it kind of gets into like when I used to be religious and all of that shit. And I didn't want the details to come off as I was being superstitious of something supernatural going on, you know. So that's why I kind of omitted some of the details in like two of these dreams in particular. But, you know, I think I'm gonna just add the context in anyway. And just y'all can draw whatever conclusions that y'all want to from it. And then I'm gonna get into further thoughts and maybe some additional dreams that I had that was really crazy. So with the one about the truck, you know, one thing I forgot to mention was that, you know, the truck had actually started chasing me down at the point where I saw that there was no driver in it. So, and then it's like after that, I kind of fell into a sleep paralysis state. And that's when I started screaming in the dream. And I was actually muttering words while I was asleep, like, "No, you can't have me," or like just some shit like that. That's how real it felt. You know, now I'm not saying that it's anything more to it, you know, but just that's exactly how real it felt. The scenario, it felt like I was actually there. And with the toilet bound Hanako one, the part that I left out was toward the end where I guess Hanako was beating on the door real violently trying to get in. And then I had said like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? and like he started talking through the door, and he was like LOL, laugh, laugh out loud, like, I'm a ghost, right? Like, I keep telling you that I'm evil, but yet you keep thinking it's gonna turn out any different. And that was the words that he said. And and to the, like, the dreams where I was being assaulted, it's like when I said that it would always be something different, it's like it would be this person or whatever, and it would keep changing shape. Like, it would start out as a person, and then it would change. First, it would start out looking like my sister, which is, I don't gotta tell you how disturbing that is. And then it would change to like some monster, and then, or sometimes it would change to like different cartoon characters or stuff like that, and it would just be real crazy. And and it would be real graphic what would be done to me, just basically being violated and having your autonomy, bodily autonomy, stolen. And no, I mean, just again, with me being a man, you don't want to think that can happen to you. And just different disgusting stuff that's uncomfortable to talk about. And on top of that, like, I would have other dreams as well. Now, these, I think they were more centered around just the environment I was in when it would be real bad. Because I would tell y'all about how me and my mom, we would kind of go at it sometimes. And I would have dreams where we was doing that, except it would be like a lot more violent and more over the top than how it would usually happen, as hard as that is to believe. And it would be like her trying to kill me with a knife or ram a knife up my rear end. And it just real disturbing stuff that I don't like to talk about. And so I've had plenty of those. I've had another specific dream where this real crazy looking guy, who had this date rape Grinch like smile plastered across his face, and he was chasing me with a knife. And at first I would try to fight him, and I would pick him up by his neck and try to choke him out, because you can do some crazy stuff when you're in a dream-like state. But it's like nothing was working. I would have him choking him out by his neck, and he would just be still smiling at me with that crazy Grinch smile, and just basically mocking me and like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do now? And then I start running away, and to escape being stabbed, I would have to jump over a bridge and narrowly avoid being stabbed on the right arm. I actually remember all of that. But and a couple of them, they would result in, it would be somewhere like nothing would happen. It would just be this freaky perk character or whatever. And they would either have black eyes, or they would have these strange proportions to where like they would look human, but it was like kind of a humanoid element to it. They didn't look proportioned out like a actual person would look. And they would just stare at me, and then I would fall into sleep paralysis. And so I've had a lot of those dreams. Now, I'm not, the reason why I didn't want to go into those extra details again is because I didn't want to make it come off as something superstitious was going on, because I have made it real clear that I pretty much don't believe in anything spiritual or having to go on with that kind of stuff anymore, but the majority of these dreams, in particular, the car one, the Hanako one, and the SA one, the one where this whatever would change and keep looking like different type of people. Now, I had those dreams mainly around the time where I was religious, and I would still talk to my sister, and just how we would have this whole discussion about how basically you gotta watch what you put into you, because it can be some underlying stuff that's not good behind it. And it gets into a lot of stuff with my interest in art. But rather, I mean, those, what I believe is that those were more of, had to do with the religious conditioning that was instilled in me. So I'm not saying, at the time, so I'm not saying that, oh, it's anything paranormal going on. I'm not trying to flip flop here, which is why I chose to leave those details out. But I think, adding the full context, it really actually gives you an idea of just how specific things that ways that you're taught, like it can influence your mind, you know, but it's still freaky nonetheless. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into. Now, the recent ones about me and my younger brother, those are more recent, like as in last month recent, and I would had started having those dreams back to back. I hadn't told anyone other than my older bro, but just those really messed me up more than the other superstitious ones, for the fact that it's disturbing in a realistic way. It's warped in a way that just no dream about a ghoul or goblin can compare to, and it just really disturbs my mind, and it just really puts me in a bad mood to where I just spiral into a depression. And I don't talk about it again with anyone. I mean, I guess I'm talking about it with y'all, but it's like, how they say, or like, oh, if you focus on something enough, if you do something a lot, then, oh, you will start having dreams about it. So it's like, okay, so I like doing my art. I like doing, I like uh pictures of or artistic inspiration revolving around fantasy or fairy type creatures, or fairy woman, or just stuff like that. So it's like, how come I'm not, if that's the case, how come I'm not having dreams like those? I don't think about doing stuff with my younger bro, and I'm trying to whisper because I'm in the closet. I don't want my fucking mom walking in on me hearing this shit, but I don't think about that type of stuff. So it's like, why the fuck am I having dreams about that? Like, and no, I'm not going to fucking psychology or psyche, whatever, no damn therapist, because it ain't shit they can do. They ain't gonna do nothing. They probably just gonna say, like, oh, it's something that happened. I mean, I guess I was, when I was a baby, I was taken advantage of, but it's like I barely remember what happened. So it's like, whether that has to do with why I'm having these crazy, disturbing, inappropriate dreams, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of get into. And just, y'all can tell me what y'all think. Oh, I will say one thing, because I forgot to, you know, just putting this in, like going back to those other more superstitious dreams, the Hanukkah one, the car one, just, and going back to what my sister had instilled in me when I was still a Christian. Uh, that's actually a big part of what made me become antinatalist, because, the whole mindset that there is something, you know, uh, hypothetically speaking, that there is some malevolent being down here that's trying to influence your mind in a negative way to do corrupt you or do bad stuff to you or harm you, which certain religions they may call him by different names. I know in the Christian doctrine he's called by the adversary or the devil. I think other countries like Islam or Muslim, they're called Shaitan or you know what's another name? So I know Shaitan is one. You know, they're called by the Watchers or different types of AKAs. But it's like, okay, if that's the case, that this stuff really exists, then that's even more reason. I mean, I've already talked about it in my more religious videos, but that's even more reason why I am so fucking angry to be here if that's the case, to whoever created this bullshit, because it's like, what fucking sense does that make to create beings on a fucking planet where it's something that just wants to do them harm for no reason? And that's supposedly the mastermind behind why everything is so bad in our world, you know? And just that's what really started making me question everything. That's what, like, why this life, why it was even a necessity for us to be here in the first place. Now, I'm not saying it's true or that I believe in it, you know, but it's like T Sizzle said in one of his videos, you know, none of us really knows what's really up with our fucking plane of existence, you know. So even if we say, oh, it ain't true, or oh, it is true, it's like we won't know until we fucking die, which is the shitty part, which is why it is so fucking stupid why people, especially Christians or religious folks who are real into this stuff, like they believe that they continue to want to fucking bring kids here, because it's like, okay, if you know all this, if you won't know that what's really going on, why the fuck you want to keep bringing other people here to deal with this bullshit, to have their minds being fucked with, or like, you know, just different kinds of so-called spiritual attacks that go on, you know, supposedly, allegedly, according to them, just because you fucking exist. And so just that's some of what I wanted to put out there. You know, I originally wanted to, you know, keep this part of it out of the fucking video, but I think I'm just gonna throw that little nugget in, and y'all can tell me what y'all think, you know, and I'll get back to y'all with another one real soon.